Hi guys, welcome to the EOSwriter YouTube channel. Today we're going to do the weekly news update of all the latest news on EOS. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so now to keep up to date. But without further ado, I'll see you on the screens. Let's do it. Right guys, let's dive straight into it. So as you can see, the first story is from iTam Games. Now iTam Games is a big deal. They're going to be releasing their first mobile game in the next couple of weeks. So I'll quickly click on this now. So the game's going to be called Onion Knights. Pretty funky name. Haven't heard anything like that before. Looks quite cool. And it's a cannon shooting strategy defense game on the EOS blockchain. And this is going to have rewards built into it, so we'll quickly go through that now. You're going to be able to download it on the iTam store, which will be on your iOS device or your Google Play device. Let's have a quick read. So it says here the intro. Welcome to the first Gaming with iTam by iTam Games. My name is Eon, the community manager at iTam Games. I will be in charge of composing this Gaming with iTam series. If you're in the iTam Games Telegram group, I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube, you've probably seen me before. With the launch of the beta version of the iTam store quickly approaching March 28th, so it's going to be released on March 28th, we are happy to announce one of the few games that will be released alongside iTam store next week. The game will be kicking off the long list of upcoming games, and this game is the Onion Knights game. So it's a pretty cool little thing. I read into it obviously a little bit further on, so they got all their games coming out. Onion Games the next game. So in the beginning, you're going to fight against certain types of mobs. You're going to have to defend your castle, and what you have to do is you're going to have to level up your characters. You have to level up your base, level up your characters, get more experience, get more items. Then there's going to be two different modes. So you can have story mode where you build up your level, make sure your base is good, and then you can have something called extreme mode. And in extreme mode, you're going to be able to compete against other players. So it's going to be PvP, and then the higher up the leaderboard you are, the more tokens you're going to get rewarded, and the more in turn you're going to get paid to then buy more items within game. So this game isn't going to be straight away you're going to earn to play at the very beginning. Like all the items within game will be NFTs, but they won't actually be worth anything at the beginning. The only part which is properly on the blockchain for like making money out of it is going to be the extreme mode, where you're going to be actually fighting against other players within the game to see if you can get the highest score. So it's not exactly what we're looking at, but this is just the first integration of the blockchain into it, and then further on down the line when they get more comfortable, they learn more, they're going to integrate more different things. But it's a really good read. Come and check this out yourself. All the key features it shows you here. They're obviously going to have that built-in exchange, which is the iTam DA DEX, which is going to facilitate the trading in-app game tokens. And it's going to be 300 stages. Really cool read. It's coming out in like 3 days, so you know. But that's the first story. Really cool stuff. So the next thing, so Emanate, which is going to be sort of a competitor to Spotify, have just enabled the Bancor protocol for cross-chain token swaps within their platform. Really interesting stuff. I recommend coming and checking that post out. Emanate have a great team. They got a great squad behind them, and also Bancor do an incredible job at what they do as well, which is going to be token swaps without having to use order books basically. So it uses something called the Bancor algorithm. I did another video on that, but really interesting read. Come and check this out. Basically what it says is it's going to add more liquidity to their platform. So instead of selling your Emanate tokens, your EMT tokens, you're going to have the Bancor algorithm actually written into the code, so you can just do token swaps whenever you want. Things like the Bancor algorithm are 100% needed for mass adoption into the future. Definitely come and check this out. Really interesting. It also goes into a little bit more detail about the Bancor protocol as well. So just moving on to the next thing. So some more news about Emanate. Emanate major update listing and announcement. So let's check this out. Roadmap update and alpha launch details. If you're an EOS holder, by now you probably have EMT tokens in your wallet. Read below for a more detailed overview of what to expect from Emanate Alpha and the rest of 2019. So it says here, covered below, token sale update and unlocking, exchange listings and liquidity, details on Alpha launch. So come and check this out for yourself if you're an Emanate fan. So let's move on to the next thing. So the next thing is Dan. He's been on Telegram again, and he's been on Twitter again. So what it says here, June is the biggest news since iOS announcement. Quality over quantity. ETH has many devs because their solutions are overly complicated by poor initial design. So basically it's Dan Larimer securing the fact that we're going to see a big announcement in June. Obviously there's been a lot of news about that before. You'll probably already know what it is. In this article, just showing you all the information Dan's been saying. It's been quite interesting. You know, Dan Larimer has a knack of giving away a lot of information in Telegram if you can read through it. So it's quite interesting to see. Definitely come and check this out. It says here B1 is coming in June. And I think we all know what it's going to be. You know, it's going to be the wallet. It's going to be the social media dApp. It's going to be their exchange. It's going to be everything they've been promising us is going to come out. So just definitely come and scroll through these yourself. Have a good little read. It's quite interesting. But I think a lot of us already know what's going to come. Now it's just about Block One delivering on their promises and trying to get as many users into the space as possible. So yeah, just moving on to the next thing. So the Loom network recently came out, and they said they're going to be integrating EOS and Tron into their protocol, which is really interesting. So Loom network is a scaling solution for the Ethereum network. Basically, it's their DPoS chain, a delegated proof of stake chain. It's going to be a layer 2 solution for Ethereum, which will help it scale, obviously, because we all know that Ethereum has a serious issues with scaling. So we'll quickly click on this. This is quite interesting. So it says here, connecting Ethereum, EOS, and Tron, making blockchain interoperability a reality. Loom Network. So really cool stuff. I've personally been following the Loom Network for a long time, did actually invest a while ago. So basically, to cut to the mustard in the article, it says this: over the coming weeks, Loom Network will be releasing integrations for Tron and EOS into Plasma Chain, effectively allowing dApp developers to offer their dApps to users on those 3 chains simultaneously. So what it's going to kind of do is it's going to be like a bridge. You create your dApp on Ethereum or any of the platforms, and then it'll kind of be like mimicked onto the other blockchains as well. So it's really interesting. What it's going to kind of create is this interoperability, which is just completely seamless, meaning that every single community, say you're in Ethereum, you're on Tron, you're in EOS, you can still play the games on those platforms, needless of having to swap wallets and stuff. So very, very interesting. I highly recommend checking out Loom's website as well and just reading about how they're going to scale. A few other things it says here as well. It says bottom line is dApp developers want the maximum number of users possible while they're dApps and spending money on their services. It also goes on to say what does it actually mean, but definitely come and have a read of this. Really well written, and I think this is only positive in the space looking into the future. So just moving on to the next thing. Rob Finch is on the Everything EOS podcast, and he's talking about DSN on EOS and why it's getting impossible to ignore. So check this out. This is really, really cool. So if you don't know, DSN is a domain service the internet uses. So if you want to buy a URL like www.eoswriter.io, you have to buy that from the DSN domain service. How this links to EOS is that Cypherglass have been building an EOS name service where you can buy certain names, like for instance EOSwriter.io, but it will actually be on the EOS network. It'll actually be the name on the EOS network. And what Cypherglass are trying to do is they're trying to link that so you can actually put it into your web browser, search for that, and it'll actually take you to a page. So it's really, really interesting. Yeah, and it says here DSN on EOS. Definitely check out the EOS Everything podcast with Rob Finch and Zach Gull. They talk about it in more detail, and Rob doesn't give too much away. He does give a brief explanation of how it could work. So really interesting. Definitely check that out yourself. Come on the website and click on here and watch that podcast. Really cool stuff. So just moving on to the next thing. Yeah, so Blankos is doing a free giveaway on their website at the moment. Highly recommend clicking on this. So I did a video about it, just talking about Blankos, the game, what the future is for it, how they use NFTs, all that kind of great stuff. If you actually go on their website, they are actually doing a free giveaway. So all you got to do is register with your email address. They'll then send you a confirmation link, and then you're in. And then potentially you could win yourself a free Blanko for when the game launches. Blankos is going to be a really big deal. You know, they've got a huge team behind them. Mythical Games are the ones behind this, and they're taking a lot of VC funding. So they've got a lot of money, they've got a good teams, and they're bringing out good games on EOS. So really interested about that. Come check out this video as well. I'll go into a little bit more detail about it, and definitely sign up for your free Blanko. So moving on to the next thing. If you use WhereLex as an exchange to buy and sell crypto, definitely check out their weekly report. There's a news article there. And here's an interesting one. So EOSfinex. So the evolution of EOSfinex. It's a really good article. EOSfinex are going to be releasing their platform really, really soon. And we're going to have an interview on the EOSwriter.io of the EOSfinex team, just talking about their exchange. You know, it shouldn't be more than a couple of weeks. I can't imagine it being any longer than that. So really look out for that. But let's move on to the next thing. So I recently did an interview with the CEO of Lumios, Ali Ayahash. I don't know if I got that name right, but I recently did a podcast and an interview with him. And we went into real detail about the Lumios token, the future of the project, how they're going to pay polls, how we're going to monetize our data in the future. Loads of cool stuff. So definitely check this out. You can find it on YouTube, on the EOSwriter YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe, like the video, and you can hear what Ali has to say himself about the project. Really interesting stuff. So just moving on, a few more things. So yeah, Animate recently did their airdrop. You should have your Animate tokens. Check your wallet. If you haven't, log on to their website. We'll put the link in the description. Next thing, yeah, so DICE just did a big UI update. So DICE have been kind of teasing this UI update for a while now. They've just recently done it. It looks really, really good. And DICE is probably like, you know, one of the most exciting gambling dApps on EOS. Like I said, again, I'll put the link in the description so you can go and check it out for yourself. There's only so much you can really say about it. It looks good, and they're integrating more games as well, because they're building a platform for gambling games instead of building their own. So hopefully in the future, what you'll see is third-party game developers coming and building within the platform. So it's really interesting as well. A few more things. So there's a really good review by Crypto Life Inc. I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel. And he's a part of the Generios team. And what they do is they review the Innoverse augmented reality. So they review that. He goes into some really extensive detail about their project, about how it's going to work, how you can buy real estate yourself within the Innoverse world. You can actually buy real estate, you can sell it, you can buy items, that kind of great stuff. So definitely check that out. We also had a video from Brandon at the EOS podcast talking about the secret key, the EOS treasure hunt. But that's pretty much it. Let's have a look if there's any more things. Yeah, so a few more things. There's a new EOS game studio launching in Q2, and it's called Dappiness. So the people behind Dappiness, I think, is the EOS Everything team and maybe Cypherglass. So we'll quickly check in a second. So what it says here the Dappiness team, including Everything EOS technical lead Peter Kay, along with the fellow ICER alumni Zach Gull and Evan Schleidner, discuss Fantasy EOS, EOS arcade games, blockchain-based gaming, and casual roundtable discussions. So really, really interesting. Definitely check out that video. It's the guys behind Everything EOS. Zach Gull's a part of it, and the Peter Kay, who does a lot of like dApp technical stuff. So he does some videos about like how to actually produce and develop dApps from the back end side, so you can actually watch a video and learn how to do it yourself, which is really cool. Hats off to those guys. If there's anyone who's going to be behind the EOS community, it's these guys, and they're doing so much for us. So 100% backing that and hope it's a massive success for those guys. But check out this article as well. And just the last thing, I think there's one more thing to go through. So the last thing is on CoinMarketCap for the fundamental score, EOS is ranked #1. What it basically says is the FUD machine steps into overdrive in response to the EOS ranking #1 on the fundamental analysis of a crypto project based on CoinMarketCap. So I think this is going to cause a lot of controversy. You know, there's a lot of Ethereum and Tron fans who don't even think EOS is a blockchain, so it's probably going to create a lot of FUD. But EOS has ranked #1 on the fundamental score. Definitely go on CoinMarketCap and check it out. They explain in more detail about why we've been ranked #1. But I think, guys, that's pretty much it for this week. There's nothing really else to go through. Let's have a quick look. It looks pretty good. But yes, guys, thanks again for watching. This is the EOSwriter.io weekly news update. Thanks for watching. Like I always say, like, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to keep getting this kind of content to keep up to date on the weekly news. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again. Bye.